Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you. It's 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. It is Thursday, the 10th of July. Hey, happy birthday, man. 2025 AD 2025 really is what it's supposed to be. And the views expressed on this show do not represent the views of the host. I don't even represent myself. Much less Bond or JLP. That's Jesse Lee Peterson. The Network. Anchor Baby. The Derek the producer. Or, like I said, myself. And the callers don't represent me or the show or anything. I disclaim it all. I disclaim. Doesn't mean that I necessarily disavow, but I do disclaim, meaning I don't claim it. It has nothing to do with me. Okay, and so this show is for entertainment and general information. And hopefully it's informative. Hopefully it's entertaining. Hopefully it's somewhat worthwhile in moments, right? It's the best you can hope for, because think about how much time you waste in life doing different things or not doing anything, or sometimes not doing anything is better than doing stuff, right? You're better off not doing a whole lot of stuff than you are doing a whole lot of stuff. Am I right or am I right? YK. If you know, you know. What's up, Coffee Talk with Sandra? I was on Coffee Talk with Sandra's show a couple of nights back. A 3-hour show. And there were great moments. Great moments with Sandra. Coffee Talk with Sandra. I'm live on punchy.tv and What's Up Stan, Lincoln Lewis, #1 Purple Crown. Suspicious just to start saying that all of a sudden. Yeah, go into your suspicions and imagination. What could it mean? That's good. That's a good idea. Concern yourself with others. How is it suspicious? I get that it's suspicious. I get that it seems it's out of the ordinary, right? When something is out of the ordinary, you can start to get suspicious. But could it mean something, or could it mean nothing? I'm disavowing all the time. How about I just disclaim? It's better. It's fun. And it's mildly entertaining, I think. Well, I'm fascinated by the cliffs over San Onofre. I'm displeased with my wide-angle fisheye lens a little bit, although it is nice to take in more of what's around. We're looking at the video feed. I am, anyway. What's up, Jen Mull? Says, great show yesterday. God willed and the creek didn't rise, so yeah. Nice, thanks. You talking about my show? Sweet. Buddy 1205, Dustin Cross 006, Age of Inversion, Pastor Chatelet obviously helped Jesse Lee Peterson raid the stream over there on Rumble. Pilled.net. What's up, D Live crew? Kilo Alpha Tango. Pointing at you. So we're going to get going here. You can call in 1-888-775-3773, and you can super chat. If you go to thehakereport.com, Age says, I need Mark to call in with some White History Month heroes. I know, because I don't know anything, and I don't read. I did show toward the end of the show yesterday some White History Month heroes given by the great Big Bump, B-I-double-G, new word, B-U-M-P, Big Bump. He's a rapper, not a musician, so he's not liberal, unlike some who are musician rappers, and they are liberal. But he's not he's a non-musician rapper, so he's not liberal. But I think I may cover more And I have a picture on my website that I might show you guys as well. And I have a little tip from this gal on X who watched the Punchy TV stream, guys. We had a Punchy TV stream, and it was somewhat interesting. Pardon me if I was obnoxious during Punchy TV. I repent. Forgive me. If you have any decency. You probably already did, right? Or you didn't even think anything of it. Oh, Hake being Hake. Hake being his typical obnoxious self. So I may show that to you as well about the Epstein list or lack thereof, and why it doesn't, more of why it doesn't matter, despite what you guys think. And you guys can call in and debate me, bro, or whatever. Disagree with me, sis, or bro. Or buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report me person, people. Let's say you're banned from calling, you can still buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report. And I just may read it. Usually I do. Thank you for the support and love. Christian love, that is. So, yeah, so I can tell you that the Epstein thing is a nothing burger. I hate that term, but it's it's kind of true. That's what Van Jones said about the Trump-Russia thing, something like that it was a nothing burger. Van Jones, the black, what was he, a former communist, so-called? Not the Terry kind of former communist. The still not particularly Christian or decent type of former quote-unquote communist who just wants to be practical and have a job and have some influence in the world. Because full-blown communists and full-blown Nazis, they're too strict. So they can't get anything done except for anger and violence, you know. Shout out. I think that's what my impression is of some topics that we may cover. I feel empty because I feel like there is deadened silence here. So let me unmute this because hopefully I'm not talking and yapping during this. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm talking and yapping during this thing. But anyway, I'm getting annoyed, so let me get started here, guys. Anyway, guys, let's just...
5 freeway.
I'm shaking my head, just adjusting the knobs because I don't want it to blast your ears. Get right on with the... I'm going to mute this because this is obnoxious. It's all that talking. I'm going to have to come out with another beach stream, in which I don't talk so darn much. Oh, no! What did I just do? I hit print. Complicated business, folks. That was an epic scream, too. Not epic. That was a bad exaggeration.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, How you guys doing? I am fine. I'm wearing my nice yellow shirt that has a pocket on it. Don't you like it? Oh, that's a cool tunnel. Did you know that there was a tunnel that collapsed in like L.A. area, and people were trapped underside? Tunnel collapse. People were trapped inside. L.A. Fire Department rescued 31 workers. So-called workers. I'm traumatized by the term workers. It's like a communist buzzword for people who are trying to get out of work and get paid something that they're not worth, or that their so-called work is not really worth, and drag America down and drag themselves down with inflation. You know, like grade inflation, work pay inflation. 31 workers in a tunnel collapse. Wow. Ugh. I like tunnels, but I wouldn't want one to collapse. Let me go to KTLA 5 and find out if... I hope that this is not going to blast your ears. If there's any, like... Yeah. See, it's going to be... 31 trapped workers. Here, where am I? Okay, so I have it unmuted. And hopefully I can unmute right on time. AARP. Forget AARP. That's liberal. That's Obamacare stuff. Okay. And I can't skip it either. So here comes the little report. Starting now.
Good evening, I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Rick Chambers. Micah has
Seven.
this night off. We want to begin with that breaking news in Wilmington, where dozens of workers have been rescued after being trapped in an underground tunnel that had collapsed.
Gil Avis is overhead in Sky 5. Gil?
Wow.
Sharon, Rick, you're looking at the 1700 block of North Figueroa. The cross street here is Lomita Boulevard. It was LA City Fire that responded to this major rescue at just before 8 o'clock tonight. As I zoom in, you're going to see a giant hole in the ground. This is where those tunnel workers went down to start their work day. The depth of the distance that they went down is unclear. Could be 300 to 400 feet down.
Wow.
But also horizontally, 5 to 6 miles away from this access point, I should say.
Imagine you travel 5 miles. This is like the manhole. It's the huge manhole. And you travel 5 miles down a tunnel. Who knew that there were tunnels? Is this like Elon Musk's boring thing? And Wilmington, that sounds kind of like Compton. They said Figueroa and something, but California, I guess. Wilmington. It's a neighborhood in Los Angeles. Okay, so that's like the 405, and I can't see. Let me collapse that. Look at the temperature. It's 72 degrees. That's nice. And it's 9 a.m. here. I think that's pretty nice. So look at, wow, okay, so yeah, it's right close to the, not far from the beach. That looks kind of like San Pedro, Long Beach area. Trump National Golf Course, baby. National Golf Club, Los Angeles. That's where JLP's white former producer went, because he was into golf. Sean, the Irishman producer, tall, flat earther, shout out. I talked so much mess about flat earthers, but I stand by it. But I still love you if I love anybody, people. Okay. Yeah, okay, so it's further down than I was expecting, I think. Because where's Compton? East Compton is here. Compton is up here. Okay, so Wilmington is further down than that. Because there's a street called Wilmington right around Compton. It's an exit off of the 105 or 91 or something. Anyway, you guys don't care. This is like this is the most geography that I know. I don't even know LA. It's crazy. This is Los Angeles City. Can you believe it? There's Long Beach right there. So it's just across the 710 from Long Beach, which is Interstate 710, I believe. right? That symbol thingy. Oh, come on. Hold on. Yeah. Anyway, pretty cool. Huh? Yeah, let me just show you real quick. This is kind of interesting to me. Sacred Cove, permanently closed. That's the beach that I went to. You see all that? This is where I saw that sick, I think it was sick, seal. Very romantic. Some couples would, well, not that romantic, but somewhat sort of secluded. There would be Asian and Hispanic family fishermen and fishing families go down to some of these where it juts out into the ocean a little bit. It's because of all the land movement that they closed it down. They don't want like the land to collapse, landslide, I guess. People's homes are kind of at risk over there. It's in, where is that? Sacred Cove Beach, permanently leave me alone. I'm trying to, what the heck? Okay. What the hake? Yeah, it's right along by the golf course, I guess. Where was I? Such a boomer. Anyway, it's in that area. Sacred Cove, there it is. Boom. Palos Verdes is just south of /east, because the coast doesn't just go north-south. It goes east-west in areas, of course, because the coast is like that. Rancho Palos Verdes is the name of that neighborhood area. Pretty cool. Wow. Oh, there's a shipwreck there up the coast further. There's more Palos Verdes. Torrance has a beach. Wow. Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, Bruce's Beach. Stay away from there. Dockweiler, ghetto. Playa del Rey, pretty nice. Venice, ghetto. Ugly. Once was nice. Will Rogers, stay away from there. But, nice. Anyway, there's your little bit of geography. Look at all these places that I love. What a mess, huh? All these places. I shouldn't dox my loved places. So that's what happened with the tunnel. It collapsed.
That's where the workers were working when there was a sudden collapse of a 18-foot diameter tunnel that they were working in. Its use would be for wastewater management in the future, but they were down there.
18-foot diameter? So that's only 18 feet across. Okay.
Working their job when all of a sudden that tunnel collapsed on them. Now I can tell you that those workers made their way across a 12 to 15 foot tall pile of loose soil to get to freedom. The other workers that were down there that were not trapped on the other side of the collapse, they were able to shuttle those workers the distance of at least 5 miles, possibly 6 miles to this access point where they were lifted by this capsule. As I zoom in here, you can see that rescue capsule there on the ground. 8 at a time were brought up from the hole and brought up to the surface. That took a process of about 10 minutes to get them shuttled from the collapse to the access point here and on the ground. But I can tell you that
10 minutes to go 5 miles? That's flying. They're going like 30 miles an hour. Or am I misunderstanding? Interested, sort of. Men's work. I wonder if there were any women down there. I wonder if a woman caused the tunnel collapse. Terrible. And this is another reason why men live shorter lives than women. Because they do manly, tough, awesome, and white, inventive, civilizational stuff. This is kind of like what CJ, whom you guys hate, does. And he hates you. He has Christian love for you. He's really a nice person in person. Very loving, he told me. And I believe him. CJ from Texas, now from Washington, I think, state. Beautiful Pacific Northwest, by the way. But he does this type of civil engineering, meaning civilization engineering. I don't know if it's this type, but wow. Look at all those men. I wouldn't want to have to deal with that. Let me show you one other thing, man-related, since I'm on this topic. I've been wanting to show this to you. We mosey on over to thehakereport.com, and it's actually a little ways down. Yeah, men being men. This is from Instagram, okay? Just bear with me, okay? Men being men. Moving a branch/tree trunk from the road, okay? I was perusing Instagram. And so hopefully this goes well. Catch American Anchor Baby after this, by the way, guys. Okay, so... Okay, it's just music. Is that Philip Glass? Is that Dracula music? Is Philip Glass the name of the guy? Are you familiar with that name? Something Glass. Men being men. Okay, so you're looking at... What is this clown face? It's creepy. You're looking at a branch or a whole tree trunk there. Did I just pause it? Okay. And so this is like stills and movement and kind of time stop. They're cutting off. It's a whole team of men just kind of impromptu. Apparently, it's looking. They don't look like they're in uniforms or anything. Cutting a branch is blocking the road in front of all these cars, I guess, and then the cars can get through. Nice. I bet you, and this is not just it's White History Month, but I bet you that look at that. There's one guy cutting off the different branches in the way so that lighten the load, and little by little, bit by bit. And then as one righteous Jew said in my presence, many hands make light work. It must be a Jewish proverb or some type of thing, but that is so true. And this is the type of thing that I would not want to really be stuck doing, I don't think. But that's just a mental block. Some of this stuff somebody would love doing. And then some people would not particularly enjoy it, but do it anyway because he's a man. What does this say? Men versus everything. It's an Instagram, right? Okay. Unapologetically masculine. Oh, Lord. Unshakably grounded. This is what it looks like when all caps men, lowercase, are just being all caps men. Strong arm emoji. Whose arm is bigger, the emojis or Hake's? No filters, no fluff, just raw, real, built different. It's differently, okay? Built differently. Apple. I blame Apple. Apple used to say think different. And it's catchy. I grant you, it's catchy. It sounds better than think differently. But think differently is correct. It's kind of like not Tim Cook. Who's the guy who started Apple? Steve Jobs. One of Hassan's heroes, I think. Hassan's White History heroes. And then there was these other people who came up with this term, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Star Trek. To boldly go. No, it's to go boldly or boldly to go in terms of correct English. But now you can split infinitives. It's terrible. They're just corrupting and evolving and polluting the rules of our language. No more rules. It's so bad that the black vernacular is entering the dictionary. Shout out. Built different energy that commands respect without ever asking for it. In a respect me, respect women. You hear women talking about respect women, and then I'm like, no, respect men. But those men don't even ask for it. They don't tell the women to respect them. They're just naturally are men of respect. That's better. Hake trying to be a woman to being like a woman, saying respect men. That's just trolling stuff. In a world that's confused about masculinity, this is a bold reminder of what it means to show up, lead, protect, provide, and never fold. Brain power. This isn't toxic. This is timeless. This isn't ego. It kind of is. I don't know. Whatever. This is ownership. This isn't fake. This is foundation. Real. Recognize real. Fist emoji. And this right here, question mark, it's next level. Underrated and absolutely needed. It's so wordy. This is like Hake. I'm going to like this, though. Liked and bookmarked. And I'll even say it. Liked and bookmarked. 100. What's the keystroke to pull up the emojis? I don't know how to do it if it's not an Apple. I'll just type 100 since I don't know how to pull up an emoji on the PC. You guys can call in removing a branch. No, it's removing a tree. Removing a felled tree. That's what that is, right? I'm not going to look it up. I'm going to resist the urge to look it up. But that's nice, huh? By the way, could it have been Philip Glass? Philip Glass with one L, American is, according to Google AI. So does that mean he's still alive? Yeah. Born in 1937. American, so-called. I mean, everybody's called American nowadays. Composer and pianist, or pianist. I prefer pianist, but it's not correct. Widely regarded as one of the most influential composers of the late 20th century, known for his minimalist style and prolific output across various genres. Born in 1937. So he's like 88-ish. Plus. And a half, maybe. Music characterized by repetitive structures and layered textures. Cool, huh? Are they going to mention Dracula? How come they don't mention Dracula? Let me search Dracula. Dracula, Philip Glass. Kronos Quartet, yeah. Dracula is a soundtrack performed by the Kronos Quartet with music composed by Philip Glass. For the 1931 film, wait, but he was born in 1937, huh? Oh, for the 31 film, Dracula. Was the 1931 film like a silent film and he composed it after it was produced? That must be it, right? Why is there no music in Dracula 1931? The actor's dialogue and music were typically recorded in the same room, and technology wasn't good enough to capture the full spectrum of sound. So a lot of early talkies didn't have musical score the way we know them today, including Dracula. So it was a talkie, meaning they had talking in it. It wasn't just a silent film, I guess. And then Philip Glass made it later, right? Nice. It's a little bit of white history, I guess, if Philip Glass is a normal white, or maybe even if he's not. Oh, wow, it was released in 1999, recorded in 98. Oh. Cool. Kind of. Don't watch Dracula, kids. Is it devilish or is it Christian? I don't actually know. That's pretty cool. So Philip Glass didn't necessarily compose it for it, but the Kronos Quartet played it for it? Or did he compose it for it? And then the Kronos Quartet played it for it? Probably the latter. I don't feel like reading the thing. But there's your little Philip Glass white history along with the men because they were playing this. Did I? Complicated business, folks. Hold on. Yeah, whatever. They were playing some type of thing that reminded me of Philip Glass's music. See, I'm not a total musical Philistine. I know I call you guys that all the time. Let me refresh this because I want to make sure that I keep up with your super chats, okay? Thanks as always, Gregatron, Lin Yun Chin. Appreciate you. Cesar or Caesar, Ronnie in Ohio. I think that I'm pretty well caught up on those supers. Let me double check, see what you guys are talking about. I like to tend to you guys. Hey, slow down before you get so big you don't fit on camera anymore. Are you mocking me or are you serious? Am I actually getting pretty fit looking? Kevin Howe who? JLP said that I look like Mike O'Hearn. Or that he looks like me. I don't know what he meant. Maybe, did he mean in my arms? Did he mean in my tan? Mike O'Hearn, upcoming guest on The Fallen State. I teased it, but I didn't say it because we hadn't played the thing yet. I didn't know it was going to happen this week. On my appearance with Coffee Talk with Sandra. I would never keyed you, says Dustin. Nice. Right on. Philip Glass. Dracula. White history. Nice, huh? We're actually doing a little bit of sort of white history stuff. Living history. A living legend. Mike O'Hearn. He's been around a long time. What's up, Marilyn? You look so handsome, Hake. Heart eyes, says Ang, or Ange. I wonder what it is. See, ladies even catch Hake. Purported ladies, anyway. And I believe that they are ladies. Terry bought a coffee. I seen... She's talking like a West Coast person who grew up amongst Latinos or somebody. I seen, not I've seen or I saw. I seen a show back in the day that depicted early film going. Let me make sure that I'm... Yeah. Early film going. Let me pull this up for you guys. The theater was called a picture palace. Oh. And since the films were silent, they hired pianists, P-I-A-N-I-S-T, people who play piano, okay? That's what that means. To play music alongside the pictures. Pretty cool, huh? Thank you for the white history contribution. That is so white. And other races might have thought of that too and done it, of course. Other civilized peoples. I use the term civilized perhaps a little loosely. Because how civilized are you if you're communist? There are civilized communists, and there are uncivilized communists. We are all a little communist, because communist just means fallen, evil human nature. Because everything that they say that's bad about communists, the conservatives do the same thing too, you know? But the communists accuse the conservatives of doing what the communists do. And so the conservatives are like, you just, and it's all judgment. What a mess. Terrible. But anyway, nice. Thank you, Terry. She is 70, what is she, 77% racist or 73 or 70? According to that test. Pretty nice. Sweet. Okay, so chat. Big. Big Hake. And that little super chat on theaters. Picture Palace. Picture Palace with piano. or pianists. Pianists. Don't get it twisted. All right? Let me get to, speaking of White History Month, Living White History. Stephen in Maryland is on the line. Stephen, can I confirm? Derek and I are always talking. Can I confirm that your name is Steve''N currently?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. And shout out to Derek for confirming that as well. Come to your phone. You're sounding a little muffled and far away.
Little muffled and far away? Really?
Yeah, you're sounding quite quiet.
How about now?
That's sounding a lot better. Thank you.
Oh, I was on speakerphone.
Oh, okay.
Now I got to put my ear up to this phone with the X radiation coming out of it.
Oh, yeah. You're going to zap your brain for Hake.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some heroes for Mark.
White History Heroes.
Yeah.
White History Month.
Yeah.
For Mark, your friend and
all
mine.
of them are deceased. Huh?
Your friend and mine, Mark, our fellow American.
Right.
Yep.
Him. He.
Unapologetic American patriot, Mark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Him.
That's him.
Also.
Yeah.
Okay. First one is Robert Shelton, the Grand Lizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
The Grand Lizard or Wizard?
I mean Wizard. I'm sorry, Wizard.
Oh, did you said that on purpose, I think.
Oh, who, me? I wouldn't do nothing like that.
Robert Shelton. Is that what you said,
Yeah.
Robert Shelton?
Yes.
Okay, so the Grand Lizard, Wizard of that one group, the Boogeyman Clan. Yeah, okay.
Okay, I had another one.
And so
Thurman.
that's just a title. What did he do that's notable?
I don't know. He's a Grand Wizard. Whatever
That
they
doesn't
did.
mean anything. That's kind of like saying, oh, Obama, he's Black history. He was the first president. That doesn't, what did he do that's notable? Obama destroyed the country. That's notable.
He ran the Klan.
Okay, but that doesn't tell me anything either because I don't even know what the Klan did back in Robert Marvin Shelton, 1929 to 2003. Salesman and printer who became notorious for being the imperial wizard, not lizard, of the United States Klans of America, a Ku Klux Klan group, active in the early 60s until 1987. Is that pre or post Feds? Is that him? Is that really him, or is that a painting or something?
That's him.
And in front of a burning cross in the dark. That's really a striking image. He has like a shiny black velvety purplish robe and pointy hat thing. It looks, I'm not used to this look. Anyway, okay. First Grand Wizard of the United Klans of America. Position established by him, and after him, position was abolished. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Beautiful. And then he died, born and died in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That is respectable. But I don't know what type of person he was. It was different times back then, you know? From 1960s, early 60s until 87. You know, when the whites started identifying with white, I guess, I don't know, was the Klan about being white?
Yes.
Or is that just what they claim? Is that just what the haters claim? But when you start identifying with something, like they established Father's Day and made it official nationwide in the 60s. And the 60s is when fathers were going out the door. They were thrown out the door and willingly going out the door and not necessarily marrying the woman before having children. So the children were getting more and more born out of wedlock by that point. So fathers were going away when they were trying to hold on to fathers. Same thing with whites. Whites were on their way out, and that's partly why they kind of like clung to it. When you try to cling to it, Seems like it's a losing battle. It's kind of a mistake. He died at the tender age of 73. Oh, a heart attack in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
It
would
was
you
just
think you might have gotten
my-
along with him? I think you might have gotten along with him.
Never.
No?
But anyway,
Okay.
I compare him to his fathers. You know, the governor of Arkansas, Arkansas. How you want to pronounce it?
Arkansas.
Okay. Okay. And
Favre-
they mentioned Bilbo, the governor of Mississippi.
Come closer to your phone. You're coming in. This doesn't sound totally clear again.
Maybe I'm talking like this.
That sounds, I think, better. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next one is Strom Thurman.
Strom Thurman was an okay guy, right? Was he a Democrat?
He started as a Democrat, but he turned to a Republican.
Nice. Wow, look at that face. Boy, does he have a face on him. That's a big old face. That's a man's face. James Strom Thurman. Strom, that's a strong name. And Thurman, strong name. He was an American politician, represented South Carolina. What do you know about him?
I know he was a senator.
He was a senator for
South
49
Carolina.
years? What? He was the 103rd governor of South Carolina from 47 to 51. He was
And then he turned senator.
he was in the U.S. Senate from 1954 to 2003. James
How about
Strom Thurmond Sr. I wonder if he was good.
He must have been. He was in office that long.
Oh, come on. Biden was no good, and he was in office for like 40 years. It doesn't mean that he was good just because you were in office. You remind me of Ronnie in Ohio. Oh, Obamacare must be good. They didn't get rid of it. What? Doesn't mean
That's right. He couldn't get rid of it. Trump couldn't get rid of it.
Right. Doesn't mean that it's good.
He said, when I come, I'm going to get a big, beautiful health plan that would not.
Slavery
Obama
lasted for
right on
200
the
years.
way.
It must have been good, huh?
Obama must have been pretty good. He couldn't get rid of it.
They couldn't get rid of slavery. It took a war to get rid of slavery. It must have been good, huh?
Must have been.
Got you there, huh? Wow.
Yeah,
Look at that
oh.
guy. Strom Thurmond. So I don't know. Whatever. Sweet. So was he part of the KKK as well or something?
Part of the what?
What's good about Strom Thurmond? Is he a good guy or bad guy in your book? Wow, he died at 100.
He's a bad guy.
What was bad about him? He turned Republican?
He's a segregationist.
That's not bad. A lot of blacks are for segregation too.
I don't know any.
Oh, I know a bunch. You need to get out more.
Name one.
You need to live more.
Name one.
Callers, certain callers. I don't want to name any names because I may be mistaken about some that I may name. But there are many blacks who are pro segregation. Give me a break. They think that getting rid of they think that integration was a mistake. It destroyed many black businesses and corrupted the blacks and all kinds of stuff. Wow, he was married a couple of times. 5 children.
I heard that too. That's not true.
He was a Dixiecrat. I like Dixiecrats. Don't you like Dixie? If heaven
No.
ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go.
No, don't want to be down the home of Dixie, away, away.
Yeah. Look away.
No.
Look away. Dixieland. So what's notable about him?
That's where Jesse's from.
Yeah. Alabama.
I like to know, why does he say he's slow, black and slow?
Who,
Why don't
JLP?
he just say he's slow?
Because he's also black. And that's a...
Everybody knows that.
I know, but it's kind of fun.
But everybody don't know he's slow.
Right. But
Everybody
isn't
knows
it
he's
fun?
black,
Isn't
but
it
he don't-
fun and true that he is black? And it's good to remind people that he is black.
Why?
Because sometimes it's important to point out the obvious.
He's not proud of being black.
What does that have to do with
Well,
anything?
he said the blacks this every day.
I think
What's
he is.
wrong
I
with
think
the
he.
blacks?
I think he loves the blacks, and he loves being
No, he
black.
doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Jesse is a con artist. We know that.
Who's
don't like
who's
the blacks.
we?
He won't be white just like William.
You and the 7 accuser demons, legion of accuser demons in you. Know that?
All
Quote,
7.
unquote? All 7 demons inside of you know that he's a con artist.
That's con artist.
Whatever.
what
Obama's a
he
con
is.
artist.
So it's Trump.
See? Thank you. You just
great
proved
white
yourself
president.
a clown. Congratulations. You played yourself.
Trump is a con artist.
No, he's not. He loves everybody. He's honest.
He's a crime boss con artist.
Nah. He just knows how to work with you guys.
See, he's from
Not
New
you,
York.
but
New York
he
is
knows
nothing
he
but
just
con
knows how to
artist.
work with your heroes.
No, he doesn't.
Because your heroes are
He's a con artist.
your heroes from corrupt Chicago, like Obama. I don't know if Obama's your hero. That's not fair. But Obama's a con artist, criminal lover, criminal maybe person, allegedly, according to me. I disclaim it. I don't represent me. Just throwing out.
Obama's not a
I'm
con
just throwing out. I'm calling Obama like a criminal. Maybe, metaphorically speaking, spiritually speaking, he's a criminal. Metaphysically, committing crimes of trying to imply that white people are racist. That's not right. That's a crime. He's a criminal. He's a criminal con artist conning the blacks, and the blacks fell for the lies of Obama.
Some white people are racist. Come on.
In a good way.
It's no good way to be a racist.
Yeah, huh?
Hitler was good too then, right?
I couldn't say. I don't think so.
Why not? He was a racist.
He committed
also.
suicide. No good person commits suicide.
That's what Russia said.
I
I
don't
don't think he committed suicide.
Well, Judas Iscariot committed suicide, and
Well,
I don't
he
know
did,
if
that's
he's.
for sure.
Do you think he's in heaven or hell? It's terrible. I
I'm
don't like
quite
to
sure
think about
I'm
that.
quite sure he repented before he left here.
He repented, but
Plus,
then
that
why?
was in
If he
God's plan for him to.
right,
That
but
was in God's plan for him to betray Christ.
I know, but if he repented, then he wouldn't have needed to commit suicide. He would have realized that Jesus forgave him, and God the Father forgave him too. It's terrible. Never commit suicide. Everything gonna see all right.
Not really. Well, he did it, so.
That's
I'm
wisdom.
quite sure. I don't know where his soul is right now.
Do you want to talk with Mark, your friend and mine?
Why would I talk? No, I don't want to talk to that idiot.
Whoa! You don't have to call him
He calls
names
me
now.
a clown every time he kept on there.
Okay, yeah,
Call me
I'll bring him on
idiot.
afterwards then. I'll bring him on right after to
Calls
respond.
me an idiot. What else he called me? Low IQ. Thought I had a
What
prison
do you
record.
care? You're 88 years old. You're old enough for that to roll off your back. You're
I
not.
don't care.
You shouldn't be
I
offended
don't
by
care.
that.
But I was just saying that's what he called me.
Right, but that's not a. You certainly don't have to talk to him. I'm not pushing you. Okay,
That's
we'll
right.
move on. We'll move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let that idiot talk later. I
Yeah.
don't finish.
Right.
So
Are
he
you
can
an
see
idiot too,
everything
though?
I said. Say what?
Are you an idiot too?
Well, I'm a little slow too.
And black.
There you go. I'm slow.
You're
No, I'm
black
not
too,
saying
right?
that. Yeah. Unfortunately, I am.
What do you
I'm
mean?
black.
Unfortunately, don't you like being black?
Of course. I can't be nothing else but.
Right. But you don't have to be so black.
Oh, you black.
You don't have to
black.
be
Ain't no
lost in your
difference.
blackness. Like it's just that you were born that way in this body, this black, and with these black people around you, and raised that way. But you don't have to be lost in it and stuck in it and all into it. You're
I
grown.
was just thinking about something else too.
Yep.
You know why God made white people laugh?
Finally, he made us last or laugh.
I said last, L-A-S-T.
Okay.
Because they destroy everything. They're going to destroy this earth.
Oh, it's us. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I learned
they
something
had the
new.
atomic bomb, right?
Yeah. But we
That can
rebuild it
destroy
after
the Earth.
we destroy it, but then we rebuild it. We helped rebuild Japan.
How long does it take
I
to get
think.
rid of the radiation?
Oh, I
You
think
can't
it still
rebuild
might
it
be
off
there. Yeah,
radiation.
it is troublesome. There's some troublesome things with any person. Don't you guys leave litter and pollution and stuff like that
You can
too?
sweep that up.
And killing?
You can sweep that up. White people kill each other too.
You've never killed anybody, have you?
No.
Nice.
I was in the military for 30
Only in
years.
your
Never killed
mind,
nobody.
only in your heart, with your
I never killed
hatred.
nobody in my mind or heart either.
Have you ever wished ill upon somebody?
No.
Really?
Like I told Mark, I said, I wish he lives forever.
You're a better man
I
than me.
wish no
Oh
ill-
no. You wish that he lives forever in this don't say this word, kids, but hellhole of all these POCs coming in here. That's what you wish on Mark.
P.O. what coming in?
POCs, people of color.
I wouldn't even worry about them. You know who I would worry about? These sleeper cells Muslims.
Yeah. Finally, something
So
sensible
thinking
out of
they'll
you.
be dormant for 5, 6, 10 years. Then all of a sudden they do something.
Yeah.
Like knock down those towers in New York.
Oh, yeah, true. We trained those guys, I heard.
Yeah, you train them how to steer a plane, but never learn them how to taught them how to land a plane.
Yeah.
Then you also had this sheik to try to knock down one of the towers earlier. Remember he had all the explosives in the basement?
Yeah. That was 93 or something like that, the World Trade Center bombing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, there was a fireman from New Jersey who called into the JLP show today. I don't know if you heard him, but he was saying the exact same thing as you about a lot of Muslims, and he was a fireman during the 93 and 9/11 2001.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about these immigrants.
Well,
If
whatever.
they do a crime, lock them up.
Yeah.
They kill somebody, give them the needle.
Wow. So you're not so
I have
liberal
a good
after
day.
all.
Say what?
You're not so liberal after all. You're for capital punishment and
Sure,
jail.
for capital punishment.
What?
Sure, for capital punishment.
That's awesome. I don't know why
I
people
thought-
in
I
the
thought
chat don't like you.
conservative- I beg your pardon?
I don't know why people in the chat want me to hang up with you.
It must be Mark.
No, it's not Mark. Call it
Oh, they
out,
want to
dude.
get on something, say something. It's okay.
You like
Well, I'm
Jews,
saying
right?
something. I'm not done. You can, you can.
You like
But
Jewish
then
people?
I want to ask you a question too. Doesn't conservative means to conserve, to hold on what you got?
Not necessarily. But
Well,
yes,
what does
it means
conservative
to.
mean?
I think that it means not to be so outrageous with your spending and stuff. For example, not to be
Right,
so
conserve.
not to be so overboard with the government reach. You should be conservative with the size and scope of your government. It should be just a strong military, strong borders,
Right.
and
All that costs
maybe
money,
help
right?
out with roads, maybe, or maybe we should handle that privately. I don't know.
Like that.
But
right.
I may be even
Then-
misstating that. But the role of government should be limited, conservative, meaning you
That's
don't
what
go
it is.
over. You're not liberally
It's
looking out for the
conservative.
welfare, general welfare. The
There
general
you go.
welfare
Keep
shouldn't be
things
so
small.
big. It
Keep
should be
things small,
conservative.
right?
It should be conservative amount of promoting the general welfare. Just
Oh,
say,
that's conservative.
hey, guys,
small.
hey,
Being kept
guys.
small, right?
hey guys, get married before having sex and babies, that type of thing. And we're not going to take care of you if you don't. It should be like
That's
that.
right.
It should just be a little
That's right.
message, and then that's it. But the liberal
right.
promoting of the general welfare is, hey, have sex out of wedlock. It's good for you. We'll give you condoms and we'll take care of you. That's not promoting the general welfare. That's promoting self-destruction, enablement,
So I mean,
enablement.
if you're going to give them a condom, so why? How about abortions then? Keep abortions in.
No, that's not. You're addressing symptoms and not the root issue. We won't give you abortion, and we won't give you
Pay for
the
them if
other
you
thing.
have them, right?
Right, we won't give you abortion, we won't give you contraceptives, and we won't give you condoms. Sorry, kids, ladies.
I don't know why you're complaining.
We're not going to give you anything.
You want them to keep them, and you don't want to get rid of them. So what is it? What you want to do?
Hey, stop saying condoms.
All right, Mr. Hake.
Fun talking with you, man. Happy White History Month
Hope
to you.
to talk to you again.
And thank you for the White History contributions. I wasn't aware. I've heard of Strom Thurman. Was he kind of KKK or anything, or no? He was just for
No,
segregation.
I don't think he was on his own.
Just a
I don't think
Dixiecrat.
he was a member of it.
Yeah.
No.
Nice. Right on, man.
Okay.
Good
Talk
to hear from
later.
you. Take care. Kevin says, great, now Seesaw's kids are asking for condoms. Okay. I got to get to Mark in Los Angeles. Thank you, Mark, for holding. What's up?
Yeah, I think you just lowered the IQ of your entire audience by at least 20 points, keeping that dope on that long.
Is that how
Your show,
IQ works?
If
Do you
you
get...
want, he's a dope.
Yeah.
He's got a very low IQ, and he offers nothing to the show.
He does
But it's
offer
your-
a mild entertainment and amusement to me. I don't know how about you.
No, not at all. It's like trying to talk a queer out of his perversion. When you talk to a man like that, and you try to, he's not even a man, but when you talk to that animal and you try to talk sense to him, it's like talking a queer out of his perversion.
No, but I'm not trying to convince him. I'm just expressing my view and letting him express his.
He's too stupid to have a view. Did you see how he ran away when you offered to put me on with him? Not only is he a coward, he's a dumb coward. But I'll call you, that's not what I really called about. But
cool. Happy
you put
White
me on hold for 20 minutes with that clown.
Yeah, I did. Happy White History
Happy
Month.
White History. Hey, before I get to my point, I have a suggestion.
Okay.
For this month. Anybody that calls in and does not greet you with Happy White History Month, and then you tell them Happy White History Month, and they still don't say it, they're gone. Instant hang up.
Nice.
If they don't respect our holiday, they can go straight to you know where.
You know what?
That's a suggestion.
You know what? When the term Nazi, being a Nazi about something, or the soup Nazi and stuff, it's come to mean very strict. Boom.
Right.
No mercy type of thing.
Not
Boom.
with devils. Not with these devils that call your show like the last guy.
Right.
No, he wouldn't even get on the show.
Yeah.
He offers nothing but insults.
Yeah.
He's afraid to talk to me. He's a white hater.
That's
He's
okay.
every evil. Now, let me get to what I called for, please.
All right.
Okay, he mentioned Robert Shelton, Bobby Shelton.
Yep.
He was a good Southern gentleman. He was a great man. I knew him. I shook his hand. He was sued by the Southern Poverty Law Center. You know, that commie group sued him over some Negro that got killed allegedly by a Klansman, and it bankrupted the Klan.
Oh.
Same tactics, and I've said this on your show before.
What you just said reminds me of what happened, or what they were trying to do to Asmodor, the late resident historian for the Hake Report. Asmodor, whom I guess I disclaim, but I don't disavow. But Asmodor did he was involved with the Charlottesville protest, the peaceful protest of the whites protesting against the tearing down of Robert E. Lee's statue and others. And there was a riot that took place because the alt-left was allowed to attack the whites by the cops and the people in so-called authority over there. And then they wanted to blame Asmodor for that type of a thing and sue him for something that somebody else did who attended the rally that he supposedly helped organize. And
I know the story.
I don't know the details, but it sounds like it's basically selective enforcement and persecution.
What I want to say here before you make me forget, I know everything you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just you're preaching to the choir.
Right.
Okay. The same tactics used against the Klan in the 1960s, unconstitutional, criminal COINTEL program, was allowed to continue and up and through the 80s and even to this day.
Yeah.
Here's the point. This is the thing I want to say to you. The same evil people and the same evil tactics that were used against the poor Klan, and I say poor because most Klansmen are poor people. They're not wealthy.
Right.
They don't have a lot of money.
Okay.
So suing them was easy pickings. But when the same evil spirit that went after the Klan was the same evil spirit that went after President Trump, with all those fake lawsuits trying to bankrupt him, trying to jail him. The same left-wing, white-hating demons that are listening to my voice right now know the tactic is take him to court, sue him, put him out of business, and you suppress free speech.
Yeah.
You suppress the ability for whites to organize. This was their tactic. They did it, but they failed against Trump.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome? White history.
Well, it is awesome, but
living history.
right, but they succeeded against the Klan because the Klan didn't have the money to fight back.
Yeah.
And because it's White History Month, I want to put another name out.
Okay.
That low IQ imbecile from Baltimore mentions Bob Shelton. Well, I'll mention an even better one, a man by the name of Sam Bowers. He was famous in the 60s. He had a smaller Klan, but very effective. They worked with the Mississippi Sovereignty Commission, which was a state-financed organization that worked with the Klan and the White Citizens Council to derail the Snivel Riders and integration. Sam Bowers was a hero. And what did he get for his work? They put him in federal prison.
Ooh.
I don't think he's alive anymore.
Yeah,
But
no,
if
he
you ever
died
read-
in 06. Samuel
Okay.
Holloway Bowers, Bowers, Jr., was an
Right.
American, they call it white supremacist. Don't know if he would describe himself that way or not.
I would. I would describe myself that way.
Okay.
There's nothing shameful about it.
Okay.
You're just being honest.
Right.
We
okay.
built the world, and that clown that you had on a minute ago said that we destroy. No, he's got it wrong.
Yeah.
Whites build, blacks destroy. Look at all of our major cities that blacks have taken over politically. They've all fallen. They're all Kush towns. They're all ghettos.
Yeah.
We build, they destroy. And anyway, for my contribution to White History Month, if you'll let me, I'll name a few other white heroes in the struggle. A man by the name of Calvin Craig from Georgia. A man by the name of...
and I, of course, disclaim all these people. I don't know them, but this is what this is Mark's heroes. Okay, go ahead,
Calvin
Mark.
Craig of Georgia. I've mentioned J.B. Stoner. North Carolina had Bob Jones. He was head of the Klan. Bob Scoggins in South Carolina. These were all Klansmen and heroes in the 1960s. They fought as hard as they could to keep segregation and our white women safe. But the power of the federal government was just too much, and they were suppressed, jailed and fined and sued out of existence. The same satanic, demonic minds that did that to the Klan tried to do it to Trump. They failed.
Yeah.
But they're not going to give up. These demons have energy from Satan. And unless us Christians, as white Christians, fight these devils, we're going to lose. We're going to lose everything. And look at France. I just saw a video from France. White women are afraid to walk the streets of Paris because of African immigrants and Muslims. Same in London, same in Germany. The only two European countries that are still white and safe are Hungary and Poland. They won't allow... In fact, I read an article today where a bunch of bare-knuckle boxers in Poland are going to go to the border to make sure none of Satan's children come through. So in Poland and Czechoslovakia, but Hungary, we've got white resistance. But we also have the European Union, which are evil and want to send and flood Hungary and Poland with these devils. We've seen what it's done to France, Germany, and Britain, and I pray every day for my white brothers and sisters in Europe. But again, to pack it all in, a special prayer, a special shout-out to Mr. Sam Bowers, Mr. Robert Shelton, Bob Jones, and Bob Scoggins, and J.B. Stoner, in memory of White History Month. That's all
happy White History Month to you, man. Thank you for your...
Okay, but before I go, hey, please, when these people call, if they don't greet you with that, I would hang up on them. Either they greet you with that or you greet them with that, and if they don't respond, it's goodbye. Just a tip.
Thank you for the suggestion. I shall put that in the suggestion box for consideration, man. And
Well, I'll be listening. Don't forget, White History Month is only 1 month out of the year.
I know.
And we've only got 3 weeks left.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad that we're talking about it so in depth today, like we haven't done all month on the Hake Report. So I appreciate your contribution.
One last slogan here. White man unite. You're being blackballed by red agitators.
Nice.
Think about that.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you think it, other than money, if there's anything other than money, why do you think Trump succeeded or was able to stand up underneath their attacks?
Well, first of all, just like the Klan, he had God on his side. But the difference, the other thing Trump had that the Klan didn't have was public support.
True. Good point.
He had a lot of public support. And again, I mean, the lawyers did make a difference. And it was such a publicized, all these trials were so highly publicized that the people were able to see through them. In the United Klans of America lawsuit, hardly anybody heard about it till it was all over and the Klan was bankrupted. And then the only people that cheered were Satan's children. So the people that went after the Klan were the same mentality, same spirit that went after Trump. The same white haters that hate the Klan hate Trump. The clown you just had on your show, the coward that wouldn't talk to me.
I'm with you on that point that these anti-racist people, whether some of these people who are in the Klan may have been evil or not, the people who are hating them and attacking them are every bit as evil, if not more. And so
you mentioned the Charlottesville thing.
Yeah.
Let's not forget they had a permit. The white supremacists had a permit.
Yeah.
The commie scum just came to start trouble.
Yep. And the government was on the commie scum's side. Terrible.
Right. They're the ones that should have been sued.
Right. I'm with you.
By the way, the attack in Texas on the ICE facility, they arrested 10 Antifa scum. Antifa members, 10 of them were arrested.
Say this again. Say that again. I didn't comprehend what you just said. I was kind of
Sure.
blanking.
Last week they attacked an ICE facility in Texas.
Oh.
Okay, and they made the arrest, I think it was yesterday, and I read on Breitbart where there were 10 Antifa members, and it showed their ugly mugs, man. We should call them trans, instead of Antifa, trans-Tifa.
Yeah,
because
a lot of them are transgender.
Transgender weirdos.
So-called.
And violent ones, too.
Yeah, I know. They're very angry and violent. Totally. They have that woman spirit in a male body, and it's not a good combination.
And there was also a border guard shot in Canada.
Yeah, in the neck, right? Or something like that?
I don't know where, but
somebody told me that.
Border in Canada about a year ago. They arrested the scum, and it was a transsexual or whatever these freaks call themselves, associated with Antifa.
Oh, wow. So that border agent who was shot up towards Canada or in that area that took place a year ago, and they finally caught the guy, allegedly.
Well, they caught him a little while ago, but it was I don't know if it was a man or a woman. I forget. It was one of those freaks that doesn't know himself what gender they are that did the shooting and was caught. And don't forget the Tennessee school shooter, that they wouldn't release her diary, but it finally got out, and they went after the person that released it. And
really? Was this recent?
No, this was probably, again, about a year ago. You saw they showed it on TV. That freak went in and killed those little white Christians.
Yeah, the female to maybe female to male wannabe transgender shot up the Catholic school in, I think it was Covington, Kentucky, or something like that.
Or maybe there. Okay, wherever it was. But these people...
They released her manifesto thingy? Or this person's manifesto thing?
Well, it was released, but it wasn't legally released.
Oh.
I don't know the details on how it got out, but it got out.
Is this old, or did it just recently get released?
It was sometime after the shooting, but it wasn't recently. But here's the thing. The same evil that are in these trans-Tifa people is the same evil that promoted the civil rights movement. All these demonstrations and all this violence comes from the civil rights movement. Yeah. They were quote unquote nonviolent until you didn't give them what they wanted, and then they became violent. They were nonviolent and so-called nonviolent in the early 60s.
Okay.
And you asked, I meant to tell you this, the other day, you wanted to know the most violent year in America. It was 1967. Every major city in America had a race riot.
Really?
Almost every major city. 67 was the epitome of the 60s.
So that
when
was,
it came to race riots.
would you say that was worse than 2020?
Yes. There were
Really?
more casualties. There were more cities affected. I mean, it was just unbelievable, the year 1967. That was also the year Rockwell was killed.
Wow.
He was killed right after all those riots. He was just starting to get powerful.
Yeah.
When you laughed at me about him becoming president in 72, if he hadn't been killed, there was a good chance he could have got it. I could be wrong, but that was his prediction.
Okay.
And I don't know. I think it could have happened. I wished it would have happened.
Yeah.
But, anyway, Hake, that's all I got. Happy White History Month. Take my advice on greeting these people calling, and you can kind of get a feel for who they are right from the start.
Yeah. Thank you for
Really.
the suggestion, and thanks for your contributions, man. Take care.
You got it. Thanks, Hake.
All right. Bye. Now, I don't know. This is all stuff according to him. I haven't looked up or confirmed any of it. As CNN's CNN's, I have to play this. Just call me Hake NN. I got to do this. We haven't corroborated any of this. Placeboing. Yeah. Okay, nice. That stinks. Kids, don't say this. But I'm typing this. Okay, so this is just amusing. I will get back to calls and super chats and stuff, but it just reminded me. I reminded myself as I was disclaiming him. I'm not disavowing necessarily. I'm disclaiming. I don't stand with it or against it, okay? I like Mark, though. As I think everybody likes Mark because he's so bold. Okay. You got to see this. Hopefully this is not too loud. I'm going to blast it.
She says one thing, and
Oh no. That sucks. No. That sucks.
Don't say that, kids. But that's Chris Cuomo, way back 2016 era, 8 years ago, or November 7th, 2016. Oh no, that stinks. But he didn't say stinks. That's back when Chris Cuomo was in CNN, and here's another CNN guy.
Wait, we haven't corroborated any of this, so I mean, I just think you should be very. I mean, I haven't corroborated any of this. Any of this. We haven't corroborated any of this, so I mean,
we haven't corroborated any of this, is what Anderson Cooper, not particularly morally straight, not necessarily truthfully straight, I don't know, son of a woman who's famous and rich, I think, by the way.
Corroborated any of this. We haven't corroborated any of this.
That sucks.
That stinks. Oh, remember him? The black guy. Poor Don Lemon.
And all the fact checks show that your claim is false. All the fact checks show that, and all the fact checks show
That sucks.
for the fact, and all the fact checks show that your claim is false.
Wrong.
All the fact checks show that, and all the fact checks show
That sucks.
and all the fact checks show.
All the fact checks show.
And all the fact checks
Fact
Go
check.
to HillaryClinton.com. You can fact check them.
Thank you, Placeboing. It looks like placeboing. Very talented guy. I presume it's a guy. White history. Maybe it's a white man who did some viral remixes of videos and probably still does them. So thank you, Placeboing. Nice, huh? It's kind of like when I tell you guys the fact checks show that NASA does not mean lies. Your claim is wrong. Placeboing. That stinks. Wait, where was I? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Nice, huh? So that's what I just did to Mark. Oh, I didn't fact check him, but I just said we haven't corroborated any of this. We haven't corroborated any of this. Okay? I haven't corroborated any of it. Sorry, whatever. Jason in Long Island, New York, is on the line over here. How you doing, Jason? Is it Jason? Are you there?
Hello?
Hey.
Yes, I'm. Hey, how you doing?
Doing well.
Happy White History Month.
Thank you. You too.
And to Mark too. He's cold, you know. I feel every time he calls to your show, I feel like, you know, like he's scolding me. Like, I'm sorry, Grandpa. What did I do wrong? You know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Same.
You know, today is my birthday. I wanted to get a happy birthday from you. Can I?
Hey, man, a happy White History Month birthday. Born on the best month.
Right on.
Yeah. That's
cool.
Yeah,
I'm working, so I was just going to keep it pithy. So
right on.
All.
Well, thank you for calling in, and I won't keep you from your work, but I appreciate your contribution here.
Yeah. Hey, and think about Hake Place. I want to see you do some stream, you know, even if you didn't like it, but, you know, I'll give you a PS5 if you need it.
Hake Plays. What's a PSI?
PS5, I'm sorry.
Oh, PS5.
Yeah.
Like PlayStation 5. Okay.
Yep.
I was like, pounds per square inch? What type of pounds per square inch are you going to give me?
Well, that's it. Happy White History Month.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye. That's cool. You know who else is cool? Allegedly. Robert in Kansas. Thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Hey, Firecracker.
Nice. Get it?
That's my new name for you, okay? Hey.
I like it. I'm a firecracker.
That's your name. Yeah, you're a firecracker.
There was one Christian singer who sang to me, "Baby, you're a firework." But I prefer firecracker. I like that. It's fun.
Because you got red hair.
Yep, and I'm white.
Hey, you know that caller, David in Ocala?
Ocala. Yep.
See, I was trying to get on with him yesterday.
Oh.
I told Derek.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Derek didn't.
No,
he
passed the message to me, but I didn't catch that in time. And I don't always. Every time people request, I don't always do it. I try to be led by the Spirit and not by man.
No, I think he wants to talk to me. I seem to inspire some sort of what Joel called animus. Inspire some sort of. He doesn't think I'm very smart. So I just want to talk to him.
I wasn't aware of that. I thought that he loved everybody. He's Christian.
Well, every time he calls in, he's talking about how just dumb I am, and
I've never heard him even talk about you. I don't think of David as being messy like that, but maybe you're right. I just don't remember it because I'm not you, and you apparently identify with yourself, and I don't identify with you, so I'm not thinking anything of it. Because people can talk, stuff can happen, and because you identify with yourself, it seems like a big deal, but nobody else is thinking anything of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it might be the AI. The AI might be giving me a certain version of your show that's just for me.
Could be.
You never know that.
Man, that's
anyway,
crazy to think about.
So, Hake, my subject was Trump, right? And you watched all those show trials and the whole theater, and you thought it was all real. You're like, the deep state is coming after him. That's what you thought, huh?
I didn't watch the trials at all. I didn't care. But I did think, that not necessarily the deep state, although, yes, the FBI and CIA are mostly dumb liberals who hate him. I think, or at least a significant portion of them are haters of America. But in general, I just think of all these different faces, like that black woman from Atlanta and the black woman from New York and the black male from New York. They're just a bunch of liberals who just want to hate Trump and try to get him, just like the whole rest of the media and establishment. And I don't think of it as some secretive deep state thing. I think of it as, Yeah, the secretive people and the public people all converged against Trump, and he withstood the storm.
So you don't think it was a contrived theater for you and I to watch in terms of these, what I would call show trials?
I think it was
Where,
that
like,
too. I think it was that too. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I mean by the deep state plot, is that Trump would be deep state. That's why.
Oh,
they
you
couldn't
mean that
get him.
Trump is in on this thing and he's really on their side with them?
Well, I've described it to other people that he's actually not even a double agent. Like, he's even more than that. But
he's a quadruple agent.
Yeah. Well, something. I call him that sounds
he's
bad.
an infinity agent.
Something. But yeah, like the parallel, like, when the left calls him Hitler, right?
Yeah.
And what I think the joke's going to be, Hake, on us over time is that we're going to find out that, yeah, he is just like Hitler.
But he's anti-racist Hitler.
But what I mean by that is he's a double agent. So, like, when you think of Hitler as being bad or good...
Shout out to White Rabbit Radio. That's the reference. Go ahead.
So, like, there's a parallel to Trump, Hitler, right? Well, let's say Hitler and Trump are the same type of person. What I mean by that is that they're double agents, meaning that they're pretending to be something they're not, leading a nation to destruction.
Oh.
You see, so if Hitler worked for, let's say, the enemy...
Germany certainly did get destroyed, didn't it? Both after World War II and I.
But, like, let's say if Trump is pretending like...
Go ahead. Sorry.
But you see what I'm saying? If Hitler was a double agent, so he worked for the enemy, and he pretended to be on the German side.
Okay.
And then Trump is doing the same thing, right? America first. He's on the American side, but really he's just there to usher in the end. You see?
Yeah.
So there's things like that. There's parallels that I think that I don't want, I voted for Trump twice. I didn't do it the third time. So the last time I didn't do it. I've had enough. Right? But
you didn't vote for him in 2024?
Nope.
Aww.
Nah, it's too much, dude. The COVID thing was too much. And then there's just no repentance after that. I mean, it's the guy is still like, yes, COVID was great. Like,
meaning the virus, the shot, the vax.
Well, meaning that his response to it, locking down the country for however long.
15 days to slow the spread.
Yeah, destroying. I mean, it destroyed the country, man.
Yeah.
That was demonic, what he did, and he said nothing about it.
No, he said a lot about it. He said we should open up. Remember?
Well.
Do you remember?
I remember. See, for me, I was insulated. I do landscaping for private clients.
Cool,
okay?
man.
It didn't matter at all.
A white history hero doing landscaping for private clients.
No.
But answer my question though. Do you remember him saying we should open up?
Do you remember how many people couldn't get a paycheck for how long, Hake, and it destroyed themselves and their families?
You might be right, but answer my question.
I mean, abusive. I mean, dude.
How come you're not answering my question?
Well, what's your question, Hake?
Do you remember him saying repeatedly that we should be opening up?
That's different than opening up. I mean, I don't care. There's a difference. I mean, he says a lot of
that's true.
things.
Okay, but do you remember him saying we should open up?
Yes, Hake. I remember everything.
You do? Okay. Well, yeah, that's why I'm happy with him still, because he was saying we should open up, and because he's not a king, a tyrant. Although I wish sometimes he would impose more. He didn't force the locals and the states to open up. He allowed the states to oppress their citizens. That he did do. I grant you that he didn't force them to open up again. He did force us to close for 15 days, right? But a whole lot of the states did not open up. Some and cities too. But some did, and those cities and states did okay. Florida, for example. And Trump himself did not shut down. He kept working. He didn't wear the mask and stuff like that for the most part.
You know, if you did, listen, Hake, if you shut down, first of all, if you shut down anything for one day, you are a bitch.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Keep it clean,
Okay?
man. That's
No,
a
you're
little
not
bit
a man
edgy
at all.
for the kids.
You're not a man at all. You're going to shut down what for who?
You might be right. You might be right. And Trump may regret that. I'm not sure.
No, Trump is gay, is what it is.
Calm down, Robert. You're getting. I'm going to drop you if you keep on talking dirty like this.
Well, when he destroys this country and you're trying to run out of Los Angeles because it's on fire, good luck, Hake. That's what I got to say. And you could tell me in years, Hake, I'll call you back and say, Robert, nothing happened. You're an idiot. And I'll take it. But, dude, I think, man, I don't know what I think. I just think Trump is here to, make America non-existent, basically. So we'll see what happens, man. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be.
We may or may not even see what happens, honestly.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, hopefully I'm dead. That's what I hope.
Wow, you sounding like David and Ocala.
Yeah, that's why I want to talk to him. Me and David need to talk.
You guys both have a death wish. That's not good.
No,
You're white men. You got to live.
No.
You got to stay. I can't. You have to stay white and live, Robert. In Kansas, I disavow what you're saying right now.
Hey, I can't die anyway, Hake, so it doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter.
What do you mean? Like JLP says you're never dying?
No, I'm not. I can't seem to. It won't seem that. It's not going to happen now. That's for sure.
Nice.
I don't know. The army can't kill me, bro. So, but yeah, dude, it's it's thinking like saying, oh, Hitler, like Kanye has a song,
right?
This Hitler's a great guy, and then you can see how people who are pro-Nazi are like supporting of Hitler. Well, what if Hitler was a double agent? What if you're supporting Trump this whole time, and he's just the deep state of deep states put there to, bring about the end of America?
But really, you're in your head about that because you can plainly see that Trump is a pretty real guy. Of course, he's going to end up like Reagan did. I don't know if Reagan was a double agent or whatever, but Reagan was considered a good president by many, and Trump is considered a good president by many people who are pretty objective overall, I would say. And I think that God smiles upon our greatest president overall. There may be some things that are very destructive. I'm not taking that away from you or anybody else who's criticizing him. I don't take that away.
Okay, well, this is what you got to look for.
Look at what David did. He did stuff that King David, a man after God's own heart, just like Trump, and David really did some destructive things. Go ahead.
So, hey.
Yep.
All right, hey, this is what you look for.
My Jewish, one of my top 5 Jews, by the way, David.
Okay,
Go ahead.
All right, so you got to look for just a major war. If he takes us to either Russia or Iran, if he takes us to a major conflict, like literally a war.
Okay.
Okay, what they're going to do is they're going to take all our soldiers over to, let's say, Russia. Okay, the whole military. And then guess who's going to come through the other way? China. And if it's part of a plan by the people who set above all governments, the real government, the ones who print the money that all governments use, if it's a plan, they're going to try to make it happen. They're going to kill our military in Russia against the Russians. And then they're going to have China come in and kill all of us. That's the plan.
You know what? Hey, Robert, I have a super chat, if you will. I think it's super from Lin Yen Chin. What if is woman noise, Robert?
I know.
It's woman noise. So you gotta man up. We're white and we're men, and we gotta act like it. But I totally wish you well. Thank you for your call, man.
All right, hey, I'm just being a bitch. You're right, brother.
I gotta go. Take care. I hung up on him because this is not the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Jesse Lee Peterson says that word, but I'm a male feminist who was brainwashed into thinking that was a bad word, and it's slightly impolite, and some of the ladies would not want their children to be saying that word willy-nilly. Seasow's kids are all saying that word and wanting condoms. That's not funny. But thank you, Lin Yen Chin, who also says, I hope you're listening I don't know if I greeted Robert with Happy White History Month, but I think it was implied. But who also says, Lin Yan Chin says, Mark! I hope you're listening. Merry Christmas, says Lin Yan Chin. And that is a phrase that Lin Yan Chin says to greet the host nation people, the white men. They're the hosts, and this is the host nation. He says Merry Christmas because Christ is with us every day. It's Christmas every day of the year. Thank you, Lin Yan Chin, a white-friendly mixed race POC from Canada. Nice. Let me double check over on other super chats. Russian bot states, Happy White History Month. I don't want to get in trouble per Mark. Right on, Russian bot. Merry Christmas and happy WHM, White History Month. Let me double check over on Rumble. What's up, Dustin? T Flying Monkey. I call him T Flying Monkey, and it's actually Turbid or Flinging Monkey, which is so much better. Catch American Anchor, baby. I do believe I set the redirect, if you're watching on YouTube, to go live in less than 30 minutes here. Tyrant is wrecked says, Andy, no. NGO. No. Andy, no. Asian guy. Liberal, sort of liberal, but a sensible and pro-America Asian reporter man in America. Reported on the Antifa members. He exposes Antifa quite a bit. They hate him. Who attacked the ICE facility in Texas. Ah, okay. Nice. Let me see if that's there. Okay. Let me see. Andy, NGO. Austin Fire Chief, blah, 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 blah. I sometimes, wait, what? Okay, journalist. Best known for reporting on American Antifa, or shall I say anti-American Antifa. He goes on the ground and gets attacked and assaulted at Antifa protests, or at pro-free speech protests, and then Antifa shows up and attacks them. There he is, that's him. Long angered the violent left. So, to the point they even conspired to kill him. Portland, Oregon, Black Lives Matter Antifa riots, they threw shakes at him and assaulted him. Look at, he's bleeding from his ears and all kinds of stuff. Look at him, they beat him up. Violent communists, very evil. Major FBI manhunt underway for the Antifa gunmen, he says, gun male, accused of being part of the shooting ambush on the ICE facility in Alvarado, nice name, Tejas, Texas, by a North Texas Antifa cell. Benjamin Song is the name, allegedly hid out. He had a hideout in the woods for a day and escaped. I'll retweet that, repost it on X for you guys if you're following the Hake Report. You found the FBI Antifa gunman Benjamin Song. What type of Asian name is that? Providing firearms and militancy training to Antifa. He's considered armed and dangerous, accused of being part of the Antifa cell carried out the ambush shooting outside an ICE building in Alvarado, Texas. That's him in the shorts. I guess, and he's training these Antifa people with their guns. Wanted by the FBI.
Here to do friendly fire because this is such a big space, right? Whatever you're aiming at is way down there. It's a much smaller.
Wow, he sounds like one of my Asian friends. Sort of like a high pitched, and he's training them on guns. This is so like responsible. but he may have been knowingly irresponsible and perhaps even illegally helping terrorists, communist terrorists. Not right. Anyway, innocent unless proven guilty, of course. You know, we disclaim everything, don't know the truth of these matters. But I do personally appreciate Andy Ngo, NGO, Mr. Andy No, as a, in terms of, he's on it in terms of what Antifa's up to. And hopefully he gets most, and hopefully even all of it right. But people do make errors, I don't know, okay? So leaving a little space for that. Thank you for the tip, guys. Russian bot said the Happy White History Month thing. Let me double check over here. Lin Yan Shin says, there, your requested super chat status to my last comment. No worries, Lin Yan Shin. I considered it a super chat even without. You're always very supportive. But thank you kindly. Happy White History Month. Hey. A faithful, dare I say, friend. What's up with these Asians? Lin Yan Shin is also part black. Did you know that? Or is it really black when you're Jamaican? I don't know. Let me show this other white thing to you guys. I think I have it. Yeah, sound wave science. This is just something that I came across on X. Okay. Check this out.
The natural frequency of this tuning, you want something that's kind of cool? The natural frequency of this tuning fork is about 260 hertz.
Okay, so it's this man, for the audio podcast listeners who are not watching and can't see, there's a white man, looks white to me anyway, and he has what's called a tuning fork. It's metal and it has a, you know, it has two prongs, and says it has a natural frequency. It sounds like this, and he knocks it, and then he puts something on it to make it sound different at a certain height or something. And there's a hanging ball in this contraption thing the ball is hanging like within less than an inch away from the tuning fork that's affixed to this block sitting on this table. And this ball, you may see, start to swing or not swing and bounce or not bounce up against the fork. And it's just air and sound vibrations that's causing it at certain frequencies, 260 hertz versus 255 hertz or something. I don't know. I forget what it is. And he's going to do it. Watch this. And he's wearing a NASA, which does not mean lies. All the fact checks show. Space deniers, shout out. Let me play this thing.
Sounds like this.
This is from like TikTok. Physics is fun _official. Okay, I disclaim it. I don't know much about it, but I found this mildly interesting.
When I get it close to this ping pong ball, you can see that it's resonating enough to actually bounce the ping pong ball around. Now,
I've heard a cat can walk across a bridge at just the resonant frequency, they call it, to make the bridge bounce and go out of control and topple, collapse. I heard. Just a cat. I don't know that it's ever happened, but watch this.
The frequency of this tuning fork has a little thing on the top that makes it about 240 hertz. If I get this near here...
Wow, isn't that nice? Philip Glass, people.
Nothing happens to the ping pong ball.
Is that Philip Glass's composition? And so he has this second block for the audio podcast listeners with this second tuning fork that has a thing on it, as he said, a little like something tied around it or something. And he got it real close to the other block, but not touching it, and nothing happened. And then he's about to remove that thing, and watch what happens. He's about to remove that thing so it has the same frequency as the tuning fork. Instead of 260 hertz, it has 240 hertz. Don't ask me what hertz is, but it's something to do with the frequency of the sound or something like that. It's some sound waves or something. I don't know.
What happens when I take this off? And now...
Let me play it. Let me play it. I was about to explain, but he explains it better, I think.
Both have the same exact frequency.
Whoa.
Check that out. So I can.
So that clinking that you're hearing, audio podcast listeners, is the ping pong ball that's affixed to the string above and just barely touching, bouncing quite violently. And this sound is just going into this box it's kind of a sound box. What makes it louder? Kind of like a bell. This box works like a bell, I just realized.
Excite this tuning fork with the sound waves from this one as long as the
How white is this?
frequency matches perfectly. If it's off even by a little bit, it doesn't work.
Whoa.
Physics, pretty fun.
Oh, I hate that. I hate TikTok sound at the end of the thing. It's always too loud. I'll play this one more time uninterrupted.
Cool. The natural frequency of this tuning fork is about 260 hertz. Sounds like this. And when I get it close to this ping pong ball, you can see that it's resonating enough to actually bounce the ping pong ball around. Now, the frequency of this tuning fork has a little thing on the top that makes it about 240 hertz. If I get this near here,
whoa,
nothing happens to the ping pong ball. But watch what happens when I take this off. They now both have the same exact frequency. And check that out. So I can excite this tuning fork with the sound waves from this one as long as the frequency matches perfectly.
Awesome.
If it's off even by a little bit, it doesn't work. Physics, pretty fun.
Ah, you got me again, TikTok. I'll get you next time, TikTok. Don't do that to your voice, kids, unless your parents let you. Maybe your dad will let you. Your mother might not. Wow. So here's your. Let me retweet that. Repost. Oh, I already did. I'll type something cool. Happy WHM. Okay, so you can check my replies. If you go over to the Hake Report on X, and you can check my replies, and I'll retweet that. I'll repost that reply. I'm trying to get away from calling it tweet. And so you can, come on, let's see. If I refresh, then you can see my cool, and then you can see what I replied to, because I'm not sure when I retweeted that. I reposted that a long time ago. Nice, huh? You can also follow James Anton Hake. Anton Hake. A-N-T-O-N is my middle name. Which also posts sometimes, that account does, when I post on it. Follow JLP Talk. Follow Punchy TV. They're not that active, Punchy TV, but it's the weekly show. How'd you like that weekly show, Punchy TV, guys? Did you like it? What'd you think? Okay, it touches, says Argalunas. Oh, it does? Welcome to Scrolling with Hake. Let me just read you guys' chats. I really enjoyed, I kind of enjoyed the Punchy TV discussion on Jeffrey Epstein and his supposed list that you guys claim was there. Let me get back to that, actually. Because somebody sent me something. If I go, I'm glad that this actually pulls up. That's nice. Yeah, this was funny. Okay. Somebody's they don't make loyal women like they used to. And it has, look at Jeffrey Epstein back in the day. This looks like a Throbbing Gristle album or something. They're sitting on the grass. They seem so like English and foreign and industrial music reference. Sort of creepy, cool, not necessarily Christian. Look, they have Lassie or a golden retriever dog with them. I didn't catch that. This is a photograph of, and who took this photo, right? Somebody had to take it, unless they set it up and then just posed. on a tripod with a timer. Look, he's wearing a white turtleneck, it looks like. This is Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell in their younger days and when he was alive, apparently. And they're sitting, it looks like, on a grassy hill. And it's like a close-up shot of them. Oh, and look, he has his ear pods. Or are they ear muffs to stop the sound because they're out shooting? When you shoot, you want to have some ear protection. Or are they something to listen to music on? Look, they're wearing like boots, like rain boots or something. What cool style. They're a good-looking couple or pair. I don't know if they were a couple or a pair at this point, or what. But they don't make loyal women like they used to, said Dimitri. And I think he's joking, he's trolling, but it's funny. Okay, so that's not the point, though. Here's what somebody, Nicole, the black dot, gave me this tip because she was watching Punchy TV yesterday over on the live stream on Jesse JLP Talk on X. Live streamed the Punchy TV episode. Ted Frank reports. Epstein, Punchy TV, loyal woman, Ghislaine, Ghislaine, Maxwell, and Pick. And then there's Ted Frank. Ted Frank on X, some guy whom I generally have a positive impression of him, states, anyone hoping to see the Epstein files will implicate people, hoping that the Epstein files will implicate people not already implicated, is going to be very disappointed, says Ted Frank, or states he, on X. And this was from January, I think, of this year. Boyes Schiller, whoever that is, represented a bunch of putative victims and left no stone unturned. Putative, I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's kind of like purported victims. I don't know. And left no stone unturned, suing everyone remotely involved with Jeffrey Epstein, including J.P. Morgan Chase, who was guilty solely only of letting Epstein park his money there. Wow. And they coughed up $290 million rather than face a New York jury and the New York press. And the FBI, whose culpability isn't even tertiary. So are you saying that the J.P. Morgan Chase's culpability in guilt in the matter isn't even tertiary? It's like barely anything? They don't have any guilt, basically, is what I think he's saying? Or is he saying the FBI's culpability? I'm not sure. But anyway, and with dozens of clients and years of work, lawyers sued all of two celebrities. Alan Dershowitz, to whom they had to apologize in a $0 settlement when the only person accusing him turned out to be unreliable and someone whom the government couldn't dare call to stand in trial. Wow. So you guys were smearing Alan Dershowitz because he's Jewish and was named in this Epstein thing, and it was that person who accused him was unreliable, and you fellow unreliable people fell for it. And then Prince Andrew was the other celebrity who settled with exactly one putative victim. Whatever putative, I'm going to have to look that up. Happy White History Month. I don't know if Ted Frank is, I think of him as Asian for some reason, but I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Prince Andrew settled with that woman, Virginia Giuffre, I think, right? Lucky enough to get a photo with him. Yeah, he had a photo with her. And she was smiling, and he was smiling, and so was Ghislaine Maxwell. It's a beautiful picture. You guys seen it. A little creepy, maybe not particularly Christian, that photo. Probably finding it cheaper than the reputation hit and inconvenience of being dragged to America and being the headline for months in a he said, she said case where he was utterly an unsympathetic figure and perhaps at the command of the Queen to make the case go away. The Queen gave her some money too, I heard, which makes sense. Why would Epstein risk his freedom and fortune to find out if any of the rich friends he was kissing up to, shared his weird predilections for underage teenagers? That's not necessarily weird, but anyway, his emails with Bill Gates, long made public, showed how Epstein operated. He liked collecting celebrity exposure by offering his plane and his island retreat and other trappings of luxury to famous politicians and celebrities. Rich people liked hanging out with other rich people who treat them normally and don't ask them for anything other than reciprocal philanthropic donations. And universities are happy to send celebrity academics to meet with 7-digit donors, and the celebrity academics rely on the universities to do due diligence for them. Also, Oswald and Sirhan each acted alone, says, whoever those people are, says Ted Frank. And Nicole says this whole thread is actually good. So that's something to read later. But check that out, those of you who are all into this case, and see if it helps cure you of your undue curiosity and speculation about the whole thing. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Yes, I do, tennis shoe. And I'm turning on my Hake logo because I'm going to have to start wrapping up here. We're getting down to the wire. So thank you, Ted Frank and Nicole over there, for helping to solve this mystery that there is nothing to it. We're back looking at the beach. The chicks are neat. Just kidding, there's no girls around. I like a little bit of what's that? There's a little animal there. Oh. I like a little bit of, I like girls, gals, grown women, right? Of course, not underage. I mean, whatever. Not like that. Anyway, but anyway, I also like solitude, like JLP's caller the other day. It's a beautiful scenery. Get away from the crowds. Enjoy the sounds and sights and sunshine and ocean, the obvious globe, spinning ball.
Isn't this a vibe?
Yes, it's a vibe, I said. Isn't this a vibe? Indeed. I like pretty girls, said Will Smith in that rap song that Anchor Baby, I think, played a tiny, of which he played a tiny portion. Yeah, my goodness. 50-something-year-old man rapping about that. Deep. Not. Last quick super chat. The scroll news, not the troll news. Cactus Eater Bear states, that's right, man. And I have just a minute to go here before I wrap up and pass you on over to the American Anchor Baby.
Or is that the same thing?
I'm yapping over here in this thingy. Look at the fog and the low-laying clouds. Is that clouds or is it fog? And is there a difference? I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, man. Dustin says, I do know that believing anything that Elon Musk says is a mistake. Indeed. All right, guys. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. And I always say maybe. The Bible says seek peace and pursue it.
Check out the beautiful
Most people don't. Take care, guys. Bye.